Hi, and thanks for joining us for another Q&A Friday, a regular series where we chat about issues facing manufacturing companies. I'm Jessica Vodden, a team member here at Mountain Point, and I'm joined by Andrew Reiser, our co-founder and president, and Julie Corrigan, one of our project managers.
Hello.
Hey, Jessica, how's it going? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. So a few weeks ago, we did an episode that was all about putting customer success at the center of your operations. And for those of you who are listening, if you haven't checked that video out yet, I definitely recommend it. We talked a lot about making customer success a part of your company's culture. And today with Julie, we're going to build on that idea and show the concept in action, kind of show some real life solutions to work this into your processes. So Julie, from what I understand, you've been working for a while now with Lodge Cast Iron, a company that really exemplifies that idea of putting customer experience at the forefront of everything that they do. Can you tell us a little bit about why Lodge came to us and what they wanted to accomplish in working with Mountain Point and using Salesforce?
Absolutely. So I started working with Lodge about this time last year after they had decided to go with Salesforce as their tool of choice and platform of choice for their customer service group. So kind of on the opposite end of what we've seen with a lot of other clients where they've chosen to use or implement Sales Cloud first, Lodge was more customer focused and wanted to get their support team more organized, more on one platform, more collaborative. And so they went first with the Service Cloud portion of Salesforce versus kind of doing the backward approach. And then now they're looking at doing the Sales Cloud. But their main focus originally was that their customer service team just had a bunch of different spreadsheets that they worked off of. Their team of around 8 customer service representatives were working in silos. And so they didn't have that communication between each other. Oftentimes, customers would call in and get one customer service rep and had just some issues getting the right information, and they would have to walk down to the accounting department or walk to the warehouse to get updates. And so Salesforce as a platform of choice was really the tool that kind of put them all together so that they could communicate much more efficiently, and therefore resulting in the customer experience, both their online customers who just purchase directly from them, but also their big box retailers. They were servicing all those different customer and client types, and they wanted to give them the best experience possible as well. And so they've really been able to, turn around their response times, be quicker, and also internally, from an employee standpoint, be able to monitor, when their highest call volume times or when they need to staff more. So that's resulted in overall less overtime, which everyone is happy about as well. But the customer satisfaction has been raving as well. So that was definitely their driver for this first phase of their Salesforce implementation.
Yeah, I love that. I don't know that we have very many companies or very many clients that actually start with Service Cloud. And I think that just really, paints a very clear picture of Lodge putting customer service and customer focus, at the top of their list and how they want to run the business. So just a very cool anecdote there. So I know when we were preparing for today's conversation, you mentioned that one of the keys to really helping them provide this level of customer support and this level of care was to integrate various data streams, right? You mentioned they were keeping things in a lot of different spreadsheets. Stuff was in a lot of different places. But now everything is centralized within their ERP system. So can you tell me a little bit about that solution and why you think that consolidation is so important?
Absolutely, Jessica. So, a couple of different ways, the omni-channel of inbound cases, but also, where that data and how they have access to it. So with, like many companies, your customer service team is not going to have access to that back-end ERP system or their warehousing management system a lot of times. And so as part of this project, we utilize a middleware solution to integrate with their ERP, which from a customer service standpoint gave the customer service team more insight into not all the account information. A lot of times they were being requested to update email addresses or a mailing address on an account, and they would have to go through multiple streams to get the accounting team to do that as they didn't have access to their ERP system. So part of that integration was a two-way sync between Salesforce and their ERP, which gave them insight into the accounts. But we took it really a lot further than just the account level integration. So now that customer service rep can provide up-to-date information on orders, on shipments. They have the UPS or the whatever shipping vendor that they've selected, they have that tracking data available to them. And that is for all orders across the board, not only their online customers, but their big box customers as well. So they've got that information. They also have all their products. They can see open inventory. They can see all the attributes of those products. So if any kind of question comes in related to, if we place an order for 1,000 of this product, how quick can we get it? So they can see what the back order is, and that's all visible now just within their Salesforce platform, which is amazing for them. It just has eliminated a lot of those extra calls and tracking down information so that they've got it all at their fingertips. Additionally, we talk about other kinds of inputs and channels that they are being able to manage. So they had an info box that they all kind of worked out of, or they would delegate emails to their customer service team. And they've been able to integrate that using some of the standard Salesforce functionality of email to case and really monitor and push out cases and email directly through Salesforce. So they're no longer living and breathing within Outlook or within a shared drive, sharing out files. All of that information and activities are being captured within the Service Cloud case functionality in Salesforce.
That's amazing. So do you have a couple of seconds? Could you show us, share your screen and kind of show us what all of this looks like from their perspective?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would love to show it. And one of the things I'm really, really proud about with Lodge is, we've been working together for almost a year now. And so we have built out some initial dashboards for them so that once they started really utilizing, and again, they went live with their project and the integration middle of May. So by the time June came around, they've had some really great data capture, and they've got some great buy-in on their side. Their customer service managers are really excited about Salesforce and have taken it upon themselves to also build out dashboards, and they love seeing their data come to life. And so one of the first things here you see is one of the dashboards that they had put together, just kind of, slicing and dicing that data about their cases that are coming in. They're able to identify when certain products are being returned more frequently. And so therefore they can see, why is there a spike and how many of these returns we've seen on a certain product? Is there something going on in the warehouse? And just by looking at these dashboards, they are able to pinpoint small issues like that may not be identified until later on in the process, and they're saving the warehouse a ton of money on that side as well. So just wanted to kind of showcase one of the dashboards. We have other ones that they've been able to put together from an executive standpoint. But from a high level, the data that they're capturing is really just giving them a lot of insights now into their business processes, as well as, how their service team is reacting. But I wanted to go into one of their accounts. And so just to kind of showcase, the data that we're bringing in from their ERP system, that's really giving them a lot of insight. Again, we've got their shipment or their account information here. They are able to see a report of this particular account and how many products they've ordered in the last 12 months. They can see that in volume of sales as well. This report, of course, is loading. So I'm just going to kind of gloss over that as it takes its time loading in all that data. But then over here on the related list, so anytime a sales rep is coming in and they're getting a call from somebody at this particular account, they can look at all their most recent orders and dive into that, obviously, and see more, as well as their shipments, If it's shipping via a trackable vendor, they could click on that shipping link and go ahead and dive in to find that where that package is as well. And then they can see any invoices, any of the return authorizations that have been placed against this account. So lots of valuable data here. If there were any cases for this particular account, and there isn't one on this one, you would be able to go directly into the cases and see any of the activity there. So let me just see if I can pull up a quick account that has a case on it so that you can see a little bit clearer. You know, it's when you're doing a demo that you can't always find the data, but let me just go into a case and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So some of their contact us forms as well that are out on their website are going to come in here directly as well using the web to case functionality. So we've used a lot of the different streams that Salesforce has offered to pull in their data from different sources. So this is kind of where the customer service rep lives and breathes every day. They're going to get any information from the web, either that contact us support form or an email directly from a customer using their info@lodge email address. And then they can respond directly from here. So they've got all the information. They want to go ahead and send an email out to that person who has requested information. They can do that here. And then they've got the statuses across the top that kind of track where they are. So as a customer service rep, I can come in and look at all of my cases just for today. I can look at the ones that have unread emails associated to them. A lot of different capabilities, especially using some customized views and a bunch of different types of record types. So they also have returns, which is a big thing, I think, in the manufacturing industry of being able to do some of that claim processing and returns. So we also have returns in here, and let me just find one of those to kind of show you what that looks like. So I just pulled up one of the return types for the case. And so this was just a different record type, again, using one of the functionalities within Salesforce. But we did build out a custom flow using that return replace tab here, which kind of walks you through, the customer service person walks them through doing a return. Either the return might be related to a product that was on an order, or it could be someone who picked up their product at Target, but called them direct and want to return it. And so just being able to handle a bunch of different situations, whether it's just, your online customers or your big box retailers, you can handle a bunch of different situations in that way. And then going into their return authorizations is just another way of capturing what information is being returned, what types of products potentially are on that return, and then customizing the different statuses. So again, kind of touching back on, they were sharing spreadsheets with their QA department, their warehouse, whenever that product was received back on the returns. This way, there is some workflow that is built in so that when the customer service rep creates this return, when it's actually received, QA will be able to look at the pictures or look at the actual product, make sure it's the correct one, determine what is the next step. Do we credit this? Do we just take it back and put it in the seconds department? Just a bunch of different ways that before they were either calling or they were using a shared spreadsheet out on a Dropbox or shared drive. So this has really centralized all of this and now has made it reportable. And that has been really essential to them. And one more thing I did want to touch on, just the products information. So this has been really, really helpful for them, and they're looking in a phase 2 to be able to create product within Salesforce and push it to their ERP. But right now it is just pulling it one way. And it's giving them, all that information from their ERP system. They're able to see any open orders against an existing product that haven't been shipped yet, and then also see any kind of inventory that's available and on hand. So great information that before was, buried a little bit deep in their ERP system where they might not have access to it, or something that wasn't up to date. So their inventory that they're getting here is actually more up to date than their ERP system because it's getting pulled from their warehouse management. So it's really, really valuable to them to be able to have all of this data integrated from their backend systems and make it accessible to the people that need to see it.
That's awesome. So couple of quick technical questions. It looks like they're using Sage ERP, is that right?
That's correct.
And what middleware did they use to be able to sync all of this data so seamlessly?
They've used Timco Scribe was their middleware solution, which has been really easy to implement from a mapping standpoint, just syncing up with their SQL database in the back end to Salesforce. And then there's just a definition of which fields map up to which ones in Salesforce and pulling that data over.
Awesome. Well, Julie, I know you're on a tight schedule today. You've got a lot of meetings with clients, so I don't want to keep you too long. Andrew, anything that you would like to add before we wrap up this episode?
I think the only thing I would add is, first off, I think you guys did a great job of telling the story around this and the importance of integration and focusing on the customer. And to kind of drive a point home, what we've seen over the past 3+ years in this manufacturing space and tends to be our recommendation moving forward is to start somewhere like in customer service or with field service lightning or configure price quote for folks that are looking to do digital transformations and leveraging Salesforce as the platform of choice for that. I think that the ROI and the focus around the customer and those, and more importantly, kind of the interactions and processes as it relates to your systems of record, like your ERP systems, that becomes invaluable as we're seeing here. So like we keep saying, data is king, and the more information that can be brought to people's fingertips, the better customer service and experience you'll be able to provide in answering questions and identifying issues and resolving those faster and having more collaboration. So all this is great, and I think a great story that kind of tells that.
Yeah, I completely agree. Well, Julie, we will let you get back to your busy schedule. We really appreciate it, and thanks so much for showing us through the system. For our viewers and listeners out there, if you have a question you'd like us to answer or a topic that you want us to tackle, please let us know. This is definitely a chance for you to get free expert advice and insight with no obligations on your part. You can just send us your question or suggestions for topics, and we'll talk them through. So feel free to hit us up on our social media channels, email us, or call us. Julie and Andrew, thanks again, and have a happy Friday.
Thanks, Jessica. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, you too.